Hey, what's up, YouTubers? Upgrade time again for the Gen 8 REDCAT Gen 8 Scout. I went ahead and picked up a set of these Pro-line Hyrax Predators. I think these are just going to be a great addition to the Scout. The other ones were just too hard. I live in a colder climate, and the memory foam, which is what's inside of these, is just too firm. So with that, I'll show you a little bit of how to take the tire apart and show you the difference between the two, and talk about the end result. Okay, YouTubers, just go ahead and take the tire off. I'm also going to check these portal axles to see how dry they are. Admittedly, I already did this on the other side, so, and those were really dry. I was kind of surprised. The back actually had some grease in it, but the front were completely dry. Okay, go ahead and open all these Pro lines up. You know, as soon as I put these in my hand, I could tell a huge difference. These are just really soft and pliable versus, I don't know if you can see the comparison here. Look how long that takes to open back up versus this one, just instant. The memory foam is just quite a bit slower. It's just so much harder. I can really mangle this into that, and it's going to take that long for it to kind of unmangle itself. So you can see how difficult that is going to be for it on the trail or going up some rocks versus this. I can squeeze it as hard as I want, and it still regains its shape. See, this one's still not quite back. So with that said, it makes perfect sense to go ahead and upgrade these. I mean, if you just wanted to do the foam instead of the tire, that would make sense to me, because I actually like the grip on these tires. But I've done a little bit of more of a muddy or soupy mix as far as terrain. This actually did really well. I'm curious to see how this tread pattern will do. But I can just tell you, I mean, obviously these haven't been run yet, so they're really sticky right now. But I'm really curious just how much more bite these will give me running over the rocks versus this, just given how much more surface area I'll actually have in contact with the rock, or any terrain, I should say. So with that, go ahead and switch these over. I've been putting the blue dot to the back, so I think this side looks a little bit better to me. And I wanted to keep the stock rims. I really like the look of the stock rims. So, big bead lock washer goes to the back. Not that I screwed that up or anything. I found if you can get something small and round to just put at the back of it, and all I had was this electrical tape, but something that's just about the width of the actual rim, to kind of put pressure on the actual rim instead of the tire, It's a little bit easier to kind of make sure that the tire actually gets into the groove so you can put the bead lock on. And once you can kind of get it at least generally consistently going into the actual channel in here, found that it was about time to just go ahead and start the screws, and everything else would kind of fall into place. These tires are a little bit wider than the stock. I guess that's one thing I didn't show on camera, but they're just a hair wider. I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe a little bit, but I didn't put a caliper to them or anything, but they're just a smidge wider and they are taller. But what I don't know is how the foam will hold up over time as it kind of settles in. If these will actually get smaller in diameter. I'm sure there's probably somebody else on the internet that's talked about that. Ironically, you really have to put the bead on the actual lock ring to get it to stay. But the nice thing is I haven't had any problems yet getting it to stay permanently. But it does look like a little fuller tire. There's a lot more foam behind it, it seems like. Oh, thought I'd lost the screw, but I didn't, thankfully. That's always my luck. Something put back together, and I can't find the last screw I need. I just go around that outside, just looking ever so slightly to see if that bead so as you can kind of see, I'm looking for this outer ring to just be showing, and that just tells me that's locking that down and making sure it's in the groove. So anyway, food for thought. So that one's done. had this thing in water just a couple times, but yeah, see, there's barely, there's a little bit there, I guess, but hardly any grease in here. So just like pretty much everybody else on the internet has confirmed, these are pretty dry. And again, it doesn't take crazy amounts of grease here to just one enough to cover both gears with some grease just to make sure that they don't rust. Okay, with that, putting it back together. Oh, I've never seen that happen before. Okay, there we go. Done. I really like these little covers too. They're pretty nice. They just make the finished product look so much better. So you can kind of see the look of the difference between the two of them. So I'll go ahead and pause this and finish up this last tire, and then I'll show you the last tires, and I'll show you the end product. Thanks. Okay, guys, they're on. I think they look actually pretty good. So give you the height comparison a little bit there, and that's kind of hard to tell, which would have a little bit of weight on it, but I think they look quite a bit better. So I'm excited to get out and run this. Unfortunately, it got a little late on me tonight, so I did check the portal axles, or the portals, the axles on both front and back. The back, for whatever reason, seemed like it actually had some grease on it, but the front on both sides, neither side had any grease on it whatsoever. So anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe.